BrandZ is a major survey carried out since 1998 every year, interviewing around about 150,000 people across the world in more than 20 countries. What's unique about the study is that it connects the consumer relationship that people have with brands, their attitudes and their relationship, with what they actually do, the sales. What we found is that there are four aspects that drive corporate reputation. First of all, there's leadership and success, so that's about innovation and being a successful company. Second one is fairness, a concept that you're giving the consumer a good deal, or they're getting a good deal and they're treating their staff well and generally communicating fairly. The third area is trust, and the fourth area is one of social responsibility, which includes, and around about half of it, is environmental responsibility. So each of those aspects can drive a good rating or a poor rating on corporate reputation. We have calculated that the influence on sales is clearly from consumers' interactions with the brands and products that the corporations own. And that accounts for about 80% of the influence on sales. But that leaves 20%, which is accounted for by the corporate reputation. And what's interesting is that the environmental responsibility bit is about 1/10 of that. In other words, environmental responsibility influences about 2% of sales, which is a pretty significant number and shows just how important environmental reputation is for companies. Awareness of issues in the world that are important, particularly in relation to disasters and the environment, has been increasing simply because of knowledge of some of these great global catastrophic events. And that therefore it's important to react to those in a positive way as possible. And the second thing is that recessionary pressures made people look a little bit more at themselves and the way that they were consuming things, and perhaps be a little bit more responsible themselves in looking for value and what was the best way to behave. So these are quite big factors that are beginning to influence consumer behavior. It's not really that consumers are using the media or talking in different ways to people. It's just it's so much easier to do so at the press of a button, at the click of a mobile phone. And so therefore people are able to look up things, to understand things, to ask other people about it, to search so much more quickly. And that is having the effect that every time something nasty happens or a brand behaves badly, the news spreads like wildfire. And of course, this is both a positive and a negative for brands. For those brands that deal with those situations well, are open, honest, and clear about what their responses are, they will be heard much more quickly and much more clearly because of the internet and social media. Of course, the other side, those brands which vacillate and don't respond properly have real problems because they're going to be found out much more deeply and much more quickly because of those media. Have a clear view of where you stand on it. Make sure that when you communicate, it's absolutely clear. And thirdly, understand why you're communicating. What is it that you're trying to say about your brand and that is going to help the consumers? And those brands that do that well will benefit.